Hello dear friends, welcome back live from the most beautiful island in the entire world, Cyprus. Peru is playing, I am Peru, and I warmly welcome you. Certainly, welcome once again to Emergency Call 112, the Firefighting Simulation Part 2. We are currently still in the training phase, and our initial day of training was completed quite successfully. We have already deployed and connected the initial B-hose, and we are now positioned in the readiness chain. This implies that today might be the inaugural occasion the alarm sounds, indicating for us to embark on a mission. Yes, we'll have to see what happens. I'm loading the game. I'll see if I can get the controller working here. Otherwise, we'll continue with the keyboard and mouse. I mean, it works too. So far it has worked, but I would like to play it with a controller. Let's see if that works out. See you in the game. Consequently, the volunteer fire department is scheduled to convene at the appointed time 2 days from now. Let's observe and see how everything progresses. Alright, I believe I successfully arranged it so that he is able to maneuver using the controller. I believe it would be prudent to activate the camera for a short period of time. Come on, let's take a moment to carefully observe the surroundings here. Observe, 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 observe to the left and to the right. Certainly, let's eliminate that particular section. The right-hand side ought to suffice for the moment. So please hold on, move aside, and return to the gameplay. Alright. Now at this moment, it's beginning to make a little bit more sense. This is naturally my ultimate objective in a lacquered finish, you know, that we can play it all here with a controller. Great. It is not completely set up perfectly yet, naturally, so I will likely need to return to the keyboard occasionally. You can observe it is not entirely there yet, as we have not really received any messages or anything similar here. Let's take a glance at the location they have designated for us. It seems to be rather delightful, nothing exceptionally extraordinary, but indeed. Oh, down here there are some nice weights available for lifting, a bit of a gym setup. You can even do it privately as well. Alright, so where exactly do I exit from here again? I'm feeling somewhat disoriented at the moment. Is there any notification here? Should I proceed somewhere or should I prepare myself breakfast initially? I'm uncertain. Let us take a quick examination. Did I miss anything here or is there genuinely nothing noteworthy to observe? Alright, there's an alarm indicating a fire in the garage and I'm currently on my way to the station. Let's say we are fully prepared. I believe I shall simply utilize a combination of keyboard, mouse and controller for the time being due to the speed necessitating it. I understand it might appear somewhat dizzying to you. Regrettably, I am unable to manage it in any alternative manner at this moment, so indeed I am compelled to engage in a combination. I truly need to configure the entire setup thoroughly. I ought to have adjusted the controls or something similar. Please hold on for a moment, as left and right are interchanged when observing. I sincerely apologize. I had genuinely prepared everything. Yet somehow this entire situation has deviated entirely off track. Now kindly hold on for just a brief moment. This is the look left. Let's attempt to approach it from the opposite direction. Please wait a moment. Substitute. Certainly we indeed possess the available time at our disposal, so we shall proceed forward with this particular endeavor. It is important not to disregard the fact that it is a somewhat older game, so I am making certain allowances for that. Greetings. I would like to enter this particular thing here. Now what did I fail to notice? The up and down axis. You simply cannot invent this kind of situation. We are not becoming any younger, right? Apologies, what can I possibly do? Glance upwards, glance downwards. I apologize. So once upwards, once downwards. Or can we already perceive the colleagues? Now I must accelerate because the colleagues are already advancing while I'm still fumbling around. Fortunately, I believe I still remember the route to the station. I have a strong suspicion that I might indeed be the most inexperienced recruit within the volunteer fire department here. While I'm not entirely certain, I can genuinely envision it. You shouldn't be exiting, you should be entering. Certain aspects of the controls still feel like an unfamiliar language to me, not that terrible, but observe this perspective here. You can see I'm still grappling somewhat with the controller controls, but ultimately it should enhance everything. Now all my colleagues have to wait for me and I'm truly sorry. What can you do? So we are going to completely seal everything up here and initiate the entire process anew. So open up, open. Young man, you should certainly be able to enter here. It's the simplest task. Other individuals manage to breathe, so you can enter as well. Young man, young man, young man, young man. Everything is still not entirely correct with the left and right and up and down. Now he has exited once more. Why? This entire plan is utterly disorganized. I'm just pressing here so you understand what's occurring right now, you know. I'm pressing the door closed here. Thank goodness at least something functions. You know, I press the button to the left or right and it moves precisely in the opposite direction, like a mirror image. It's dreadful. At least I can manage to drive the vehicle somewhat accident-free. Oh God, this is genuinely stressing me out. I have to sincerely admit, friends. Fortunately, it's not as terrible as it could be here, but oh God, embarrassing. I haven't even configured these controls for the blinker and such. I'm just relieved if I arrive safely here, but it's definitely a bit more comfortable to drive with the controller. I still need to configure the details on the controller in a quiet moment, like the blinker and such for the fire trucks, the siren, and everything that accompanies it. But I'm still new here, I'm still recruited here, I don't know much about all this stuff. So now we have to alter the perspective again because we need to exit here. Engine off. Okay, now you can open it properly. Exit, door closed. So I just want to quickly verify, yes, exactly, when I press left it looks right and right looks left. That cannot happen when we're on duty. I'm genuinely sorry, friends, but what can I do? Please hold on for a brief moment. Take a glance to the left. We press towards the left. Now let's reverse it so that it moves to the right. Alright? And the right to the left. Somehow we must manage to ensure it faces the correct direction. Wait a moment, otherwise it's going to be a complete catastrophe. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. That is exactly how it should be displayed. I notice now that he has also reversed the upward and downward orientations contrary to its original design. Let's advance promptly now, but being late on the first day because of an inability to move is genuinely embarrassing. Alright, so where are we going to proceed? We probably need to select the more compact automobile. Indeed, I am exclusively allowed to be a passenger in all situations. Let's get moving, let's get moving. For our initial assignment, I'm merely assisting with the carrying tasks today. Oh no.
Control Center Milheim, this is HLF. Please respond. Please kindly request additional information regarding the deployment process.
I assure the caller. The team will get a full briefing when they arrive at the site. I definitely think the thing with the voice recordings is great. Proper radio communication, that's what we wish for. I am fully convinced that at the very least I might have the opportunity to deploy the hoses in the near future, if they even allow me to do so. So my colleagues are already present at the location, and there's the smoke column visible. I hope I don't mess this up now. Alright, so could you please inform me with precision regarding my current location at this moment in time? In which specific direction should I advance forward? Please keep a safe distance. Yes, keeping a distance is good. I like to do that. Certainly kindly ensure that the door is securely closed. At this particular moment, I should proceed with closing the door. Alright, please hold on for a brief moment. Oh dear. Alright, I need to be intelligent. Where precisely should we go about establishing the connection? Kindly hold on for just a brief moment, initially.
Gate under TA in the internal attack. Firefighting operation will be initiated. Over.
Got it. I think I need to connect the things here first. Come here. Why can't I pick it up now? Prepare me adequately to be sufficiently ready for picking it up at this very moment. Alright, greetings. Please establish a connection just this once. Oh my goodness, that is precisely how it is. Is this currently the particular stage where I acquire the subterranean hydrant key? Hold on a second, what exactly is this right here? No? I really need to get used to the controller here. Sorry, friends. It might appear somewhat dizzying to you what I'm currently doing here, but unfortunately, I am unable to change it at this moment. So, alright, the colleague is already present, waiting for me. I apologize, I am truly sorry. No, we absolutely do not wish to discard it. We completely intend to utilize it. Open this section and initiate a call. Consequently, the colleague activates the device, the pipe is securely connected, and establish the water supply, which signifies that we must now proceed into this small nook and activate it. Thus, at this precise moment, it is imperative that we firmly and securely affix the terminal segment of the hose to the distributor. Oh, regarding the perspective, I still need to become completely accustomed to it. That is, and most importantly, as I mentioned before, the controller settings definitely need to be revised again, no doubt. Distributor, please carefully elevate the B-hose and make sure the terminal end is securely and properly fastened. Where's that? So, kindly wait a moment. This specific one is connected to the hydrant and is already diligently and effectively extinguishing. I believe that is quite satisfactory. Certainly, to which particular hose are you specifically referring, as I am not entirely comprehending it? They already have water accessible here, and they are presently in the process of extinguishing. I still require further training, folks. There's absolutely no way around it. The connections here are not quite correct yet. Fortunately, I have my dear colleagues accompanying me. So, the B-hose end is actually supposed to be connected to the distributor, but everything is already connected to the distributor here, isn't it? So wait a moment, separate. Or did I do that too quickly? Indeed, I proceeded with excessive speed, so I ultimately executed it correctly. However, I merely performed it in an incorrect sequence since this particular hose had already been attached. Alright, let's take a brief look at the co-workers present here at the workplace. It wasn't a significant blaze, but at the very least it's a minor fire, just as anticipated. I mean, you can't let me dive into that story just yet. That would be a disaster, I admit. However, indeed, you are able to observe it. You must operate in a slightly more organized manner in this environment. What's he saying now? Oh, he's checking again, right? Indeed, he is presently measuring the temperature here once again to ascertain whether it continues to be excessively hot or if there exists an additional source of fire. Is there anything further? Please avoid engaging in any playful behavior, friends. Indeed, it seems that there are still some embers lingering. Something is not entirely correct. Let's make sure we maintain an appropriate safe distance in this particular area and proceed to thoroughly ventilate the room. Then we should be completely finished. Therefore, I have acquired the ventilation equipment. Do we have a ventilation system in place? Alright, I am not completely familiar with this particular place as I am relatively new here. Therefore, we must transport this specific item over to that location initially. Oh dear, I anticipated this situation. I'm managing this task today which involves towing. Therefore, it necessitates being positioned precisely right here. Is that correct? At this particular juncture, it should function appropriately. Or is it necessary for me to activate it? I'm somewhat uncertain. Well, I do not perceive any additional instructions either. We shall allow him to proceed with his task. No, he is ventilating here as well. If you observe closely from behind, he is simply ventilating in that area. Great. We shall observe this from the exterior for the time being, as the situation here is secure and safe. Now I have the same effect here. I press down and the camera goes up and vice versa. Now we need to wait a moment until it has aired out, then I'll turn it again. It is indeed quite peculiar here with the configuration of the controller. So now, whenever we have the desire to look upwards, we accomplish this by directing our gaze downwards, and it subsequently emerges from beneath instead. At this particular juncture, all elements should theoretically be in proper alignment. Yes, indeed, this is the present state of affairs here, and it all seems quite fresh and new, does it not? I am convinced indeed that it is because of the topic currently being discussed, so I will refrain from entering at this specific moment because the colleagues are also waiting outside. Alright, I believe we should collect our belongings now, and then I will strive to at least be of help to the colleagues.
Ventilation process has been successfully completed, and we are now proceeding to move in. Coming in.
That's good for now. I'd like to lay down the end of the hose here. What's going on? Certainly kindly detach the terminal section of the B hose, which I presume is this specific one, I would assert. Alright, that's exceptionally excellent as it detaches automatically on its own. Alright, the team members are also actively participating. Is there anything else remaining for me to complete? Should I bring anything along with me, fellow colleagues? Or do you want to pack up the rest here? I don't know, I'm new here, I'm not familiar with this. I was already somewhat embarrassed on my initial mission. Oh boy, but at the very least I can offer an excuse. I experience control difficulties, you know. I truly must focus on the guidelines here. Close the device compartment, alright? So the genuinely straightforward tasks, I mean truly the most basic ones, they still have confidence in me with those. Although I have to acknowledge, managing with the controller is not as simple as I assumed, which is because I am unable to utilize the PlayStation controller at this moment. Certainly. Let's proceed with this specific task at hand. Is he currently in the midst of securing it at this moment? Alright, we are making our way back to our designated seat. Indeed, it was not an exceptionally extraordinary accomplishment at the beginning, but where is it ever truly remarkable the very first time, correct? So what is that actually? An ambulance? No, that's a fire truck, right? Anyway, I'm not too familiar with this yet. So, in any situation, we're heading back to the fire station without using the siren or any special driving privileges, meaning we'll stop completely at the traffic light in an orderly way. That went well. We finished our task early. Frankly speaking, it's not completely within my control. I need to check if I can still adjust the sensitivity of the controller here. That would be nice. I believe that would truly create a significant difference in the overall performance with the controller. Otherwise, I must say I genuinely quite enjoy the controller controls. Certainly, so particularly with the exterior perspectives, it is evidently more convenient here now, correct? If I demonstrate the vehicle from the outside and similar aspects. Allow me to express it in this manner. Both my colleagues and I, particularly my colleagues, were exceptionally fortunate, truly fortunate, that nothing significant was occurring here today. With my presence on board, they would have indeed drawn the short straw, I must sincerely admit. I did not exactly cover myself in glory, not really. I have observed a bit, and some of it has remained with me from the initial training session. It was essentially about laying down the hose, opening up the hydrant, and utilizing this specific key for the underground one, which worked out quite reasonably well. There are still several comprehension issues concerning the controller, which was also a component of it overall, but yes, what can I express? The operation was still executed and resolved nonetheless. We have returned, and who is that individual standing over there on the premises and reversing? What exactly is happening? Here comes the co-worker who is exiting the automobile. Kindly wait for further instructions. Do I have the day off at this moment or not, as it appears to be the conclusion of the workday? So we are once more civilized, companions of the sun. Therefore, fresh courses have become accessible for the following day, which I consider to be beneficial, yet for the moment I am convinced that it is time to proceed homeward. Correct? Indeed, directed to my personal automobile. Indeed, everything appears somewhat awkward today. I apologize for that, dear friends, but we must begin somewhere, particularly now with the transition to the controller. Ah, indeed, we ought to securely fasten the door at this particular juncture, which is quite excellent. We genuinely weren't away for an extended duration, and now we are already making our way back to our residence. It was indeed quite a brief workday, I must admit. I am eagerly anticipating the upcoming course. Certainly this is already functioning significantly better at this moment, although I still require additional practice with steering. As I mentioned previously, the sensitivity is an aspect I won't trouble you with now. I'll address it myself by the next episode. Certainly, I apologize for the settings frenzy. I hadn't initially intended it to unfold in this manner. However, I swiftly connected the wired controller to experiment with the PlayStation controller through the Wi-Fi connection. It did not function properly with the cable-connected controller. However, the game itself operates smoothly, which I find to be quite intriguing. So now, let's promptly proceed to park. I wanted to experiment with that. As you know me, I enjoy being cool and decisive. So that's the outcome of it. I apologize once more. I hope it doesn't ruin anything here. So engine off, which is very important, and then let's get out of here. Very nice. Off to home. I actually prefer the third-person perspective more in this context. It's definitely improving a bit now with these narrow staircases for walking, and you can manage it more effectively. I need to configure it a bit more by the next time, definitely. So now let's get some rest. Night. Oh, and don't forget, if you're having a good time here, feel free to show some love, hit the notification bell, give a thumbs up, and subscribe if you'd like. Thanks a lot. So, October 4th, the next day. Good morning. You are now able to continue with your training. Feel free to come by if you are interested in participating in the upcoming course. Naturally, we desire that. We certainly want to make some advancements here, don't we? Not that we simply dive into action as an extra burden, but rather that we can also accomplish something ourselves somewhere, at the very least the minimum. Anyway, I'm not anticipating any major leaps just yet, correct? We are still novices at this point, but we ought to be capable of accomplishing a small task, correct? Just a small one. At this specific moment, it is operating somewhat more effectively. Wouldn't you agree? I believe you can notice that as well. Kindly close the door, motor. Greetings, motor. Alright. So I'm currently on standby, heading over to the fire station. I believe that I'm now able to proceed with the training courses. However, if there happens to be an emergency situation, I think I would have to interrupt. I'm not entirely certain at this moment, so please feel free to reach out to me if I am incorrect. In that case, I would need to resume the course at a later time, but I must pause for assignments, as that is how I interpret it. Indeed, as I previously mentioned, I must adjust the sensitivity here somewhat. It is affecting somewhat excessively at this moment. I unfortunately find myself on the wrong side of the road quite quickly, so I'm quite glad that I'm not allowed to drive the fire department vehicles yet. For that, I still need an extra license. I think it will still take a little while before they let me behind the wheel anywhere, if at all. If they see how I drive privately, I believe they won't let me drive anyway. Never. Alright, let's take a closer look at what is occurring here. I am genuinely curious if Uncle Rainer has returned once more. He consistently had this pleasant effect recently, where he simply pauses and then vanishes. So he merely stands there and observes, doesn't take any action, just observes. A truly fascinating individual. Now let us initially proceed into the unoccupied room. I'm afraid there's going to be a bit of theory again. First, we'll have to deal with that until something else happens. Therefore, let us examine this more closely. It is most likely Thorsten again, our course instructor. Yes, indeed, it is Thorsten. So, participate in the upcoming course. What I sincerely appreciate is that you have the opportunity to retake a course if needed. Consequently, I might even take advantage of that option from time to time. But now let's start with the next course.
You arrived just in time. From now on, you can participate in a new course.
Truppmann 2, so Truppmann 1 is the water carrier, did I understand that correctly? Okay, I am Truppmann 1, yes, currently. Yes, Rainer, of course, Rainer in practice again. Okay, now I'm curious to see what's coming. Turn on the overhead projector, please proceed, speak at the site, okay?
We will examine the various roles of the emergency responders and their respective tasks. However, before we delve into that, we will first cover some fundamental aspects of firefighting to effectively extinguish a fire. Initially, it is essential to comprehend the process of how a fire burns. A fire requires three fundamental components to sustain itself: combustible material, an adequate amount of oxygen, and a specific ignition temperature to ignite the material. A fire is extinguished when one of these crucial elements is eliminated, such as by cutting off the oxygen supply or sufficiently lowering the temperature. To achieve this, there are diverse extinguishing agents, each with its own distinctive methods of functioning. Water predominantly possesses a cooling effect. This reduces the ignition temperature and consequently the fire is extinguished. Utilizing foam or a carbon dioxide extinguisher, the supply of oxygen to the fire is significantly reduced, leading to its suffocation. The overall effectiveness of the extinguishing agent is contingent upon the type of burning material and the specific conditions present on site. It should be noted that there are fuels that become even more dangerous when combined with the wrong extinguishing agent.
That doesn't sound good. Yes, those oil fires. Yes.
Foam, on the other hand, should not be used on electrical installations because it can only be applied from a short distance. A sufficient safety distance cannot be maintained. It is therefore very important to correctly assess the situation at the site in order to choose the most effective and safest course of action. Certainly, and that indeed is a significant responsibility. But don't worry, there will always be an experienced colleague on site as the team leader during operations. They will make the decisions about when and what exactly needs to be done. It is crucially important that you adhere to his instructions.
Certainly.
Let's move on to the second part of the basic structure of an operation procedure and the distribution of roles within the fire department. Within the fire department, there are several tactical units that respond to an incident.
I need to see this now. Here.
The most basic unit is composed of two crew members, a team leader and a team member, who may also be referred to as the operator.
That's me, right?
The second unit is the squad. This particular unit comprises 6 operational personnel, a group leader, a machinist, and 2 teams consisting of 2 individuals each, specifically the team leader and the team member. Following that is the fundamental unit, the group. It comprises 9 individuals, the group leader, a messenger, an operator, and 3 supplementary teams, each consisting of 2 members. The largest standard tactical unit is a fire brigade, which by definition is composed of 22 individuals. In addition to 2 complete groups, it encompasses the train leader, the leadership assistant, a messenger, and a driver. Let us examine more closely a few distinct roles within a group.
Okay, I'll be honest with you, I can't remember all those numbers.
He determines the comprehensive course of action and issues the deployment order. Everyone strictly adheres to his command. The machinist acts as the driver of the vehicle and holds responsibility for it. He aids in the removal of substantial equipment and manages the operation of the pump. Following him are the 3 distinct teams, each with different core responsibilities, with every team prioritizing the rescue of human lives. The attack team takes possession of the initial hose and commences with the rescue operation of both individuals and animals. He is right at the forefront. The water crew is primarily responsible for the firefighting water supply. In addition, they support the attack crew and secure them during operations under breathing apparatus. Depending on the operational situation, the group leader can also assign special tasks. The hose team assists with laying hose lines and secures the operational area against traffic and darkness. Certainly, he can additionally be utilized for various other tasks that may arise. That provides a sufficient overview. Alright, that truly covers enough theory for today. It's time for you to start moving around a bit. Raynor is prepared to demonstrate a practical operational procedure to you. He is currently waiting downstairs, but please ensure that you put on your operational attire beforehand.
Absolutely. Well, Thorsten, I sincerely appreciate it, my dear friend. I'm heading there now, and I truly hope Raynor is operational today. He's already waiting down there. Even several other individuals, fellow victims, comrades, have assembled to provide training for me. Quite a courageous act. Very brave indeed. Absolutely. I am completely well prepared here. May I ask, who might you be? Darling, you certainly captured my attention earlier. Are you a fan of the fire department or what's going on here? Okay, let's start.
Welcome to the second part of the firefighter training. It's nice to see you here again. Today we're going a bit deeper into the practical aspects. The comrades who are already standing by the car will also participate.
Good.
This is a beneficial exercise, but for you, it is an essential training session. Therefore, please pay close attention. The knowledge and skills you acquire here have the potential to save lives in the future. Alright, let's begin immediately.
Is he making a fire for us here, Raynor? Should I move closer?
Today we are simulating a small fire. We have established a practice fire scenario here. Your assignment will be to extinguish this pallet using a hollow jet nozzle as a member of the attack team. Given the urgent fire hazard present, the initial command is for the attack team to advance with firefighting operations across the yard. So you and your team establish a distributor, and subsequently the initial hose line can be deployed without delay. Come on, hurry up. The fire isn't waiting for you.
Certainly, let's endeavor to alleviate the tension present in this particular situation. Therefore, we must position the distributor accurately at this specific location. Sure.
Please place the distributor here. Once the connection to the vehicle has been successfully established, you are able to grab the nozzle.
Please wait for a brief moment as it appears that something crucial is missing for the nozzle. What is necessary at this specific point? Kindly proceed to pick up the distributor. Kindly set the distributor down. We did position it accurately, didn't we? So, here. That's where it should go. So indeed, I truly must ensure that I position everything accurately in this location, because if not, things will not advance. So the colleague is positioning the B hose. I firmly hold onto the opposite end in this specific manner and securely fasten it to the distributor just as it is meant to be, correct? Alright, now kindly proceed to pick up the hollow steel pipe. It is located over there. Greetings, where might that be located? You all are attempting to playfully tease me now, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Is this the correct item here, right? No, that was actually the underground hydrant key. Could you please tell me where the nozzle is located? Where exactly is it? Got it. Is something in view now? Where's the adjustable nozzle? Is this included here? Medium foam nozzle, HD mixing jet nozzle, hollow jet nozzle. Indeed, someone should really say that. Man, use extinguishing agents. So, and now... Okay, we need to establish a connection here.
While you concentrate entirely on extinguishing the fire, everything else continues to unfold around you. Meanwhile, the water supply team is diligently setting up a water supply line to the pump, and the hose team is efficiently securing the site. Given that we are on our own premises, we have the option to bypass the traffic control measures today.
I made a mistake. Now the nozzle cannot reach. Please hold on for a moment.
It is currently up to you to completely eliminate the potential danger. You can determine if you are extinguishing the fire effectively by closely observing the steam clouds. Once the fire is fully out, we will be finished with the exercise.
At this particular moment in time, the question arises. I am presently incapable of lifting the object, the item that is positioned right here. Kindly wait for a brief moment. How am I able to reach my item that is located down there, specifically within the hollow jet pipe? So where does this thing go? Here or what? We genuinely need to commence here, gradually and progressively pick things up. What now? He's not connected now. What's happening here? But he is, isn't he? Yes, we're dragging behind us, but how do I extinguish the fire now? We need to change the view here. So he's already standing there, right? He has the thing, he has the hose in his hand. It does not display a command for deletion at this moment either. He's a colleague. Funny, isn't it? Rainer, could you provide me with a helpful tip here? What exactly should I press? Oh, this is quite embarrassing today, truly embarrassing. Okay, if Rainer doesn't tell me anything, then I have to take another look here. Yes, I'm sorry, friends. What can I do? Engagement. Consequently, let us proceed to meticulously examine this specific situation here and so forth. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I had already tried that, but it didn't help here. But I don't see anything else here. There's only item or use, so E or Q. Transitioning from walk mode to crouch, no, distance, zoom in, zoom out. All of those functions are satisfactory, alright? The mouse originates from the opposite side in this particular context. The source of the fire has changed her. I could have used a few tips, you know. Should I delete from the top or the bottom? I am a novice at this, so I need to create something for the controller as well. Well, I still have a bit of work ahead of me, and I think quite a lot of work indeed. So, the extinguishing operation has been successfully completed. Very nice. Rainer, how was the overall experience for you? Just as enjoyable as what else could it possibly be? I'm already sweating. Avoid causing trouble here, please. Is it necessary for us to extract someone?
Today we have organized another training exercise for the comrades. It involves rescuing an individual from this accident vehicle. Please accompany me as we take a closer look together at how such an operation might be conducted. Alright, the individual to be rescued will be portrayed by our reliable rescue dummy today. The team affectionately refers to her as Traumas.
Nice name for assistance.
The fundamental responsibilities of the teams remain approximately the same. The attack team endeavors to neutralize the source of danger as swiftly as possible. To accomplish this, they must open the vehicle to rescue Trauma Sep.
Trauma Sep, can you clarify my role here? Should I put these items down? Or can you explain what's going on? I'm still holding the hose right now.
The comrades diligently assist by meticulously preparing the necessary equipment and taking on straightforward tasks. Effective preparation can save lives in this context as well. Consequently, there is a tarp on which we systematically lay out the tools that might be required to operate the heavy-duty hydraulic equipment. A specialized course is necessary. Upon successful completion of this course, you will be able to assist with the setup of the equipment, help in organizing and stocking the deployment tarp.
Oh my, oh my, oh my. Alright, I shall temporarily set this particular item aside since it is not immediately necessary at this precise moment. Therefore, I believe I will transition to concentrating on the deployment tarp for a little while. Where is it then? Retrieve, patient covering, side cutting instrument, brake block, emergency medical backpack, deployment strategy on top naturally, so I must extend here accordingly. Alright, where should I place this equipment? Certainly over there. So, it's quite wonderful, at the very least something here is functioning properly. So naturally we require the sacred tool, correct? When you need to force entry into an automobile, isn't that correct? So, yes, the colleagues are already getting to work here. Okay, what else do we need? Wait a moment, I have put down the sacred tool. What does he want? Okay.
Now that all the necessary tools are prepared, we have one extremely important task to complete before we can proceed to work on the vehicle using the equipment. We must secure the car with wheel chocks to prevent it from unintentionally rolling away.
Oh, I think I just saw the wheel chocks.
This guarantees the safety of the injured individuals as well as our own personal safety. Additionally, during the operation, a team is also responsible for fire protection. This is particularly important because the person in the vehicle could not simply run away in the event of a fire.
Alright, so we necessitate the chalk block, and we ought to be capable of managing that because, as I previously mentioned, I believe I have already observed them. First aid backpack, chalk block, and there you have it. Therefore, commence takeoff. Therefore, we necessitate positioning it directly in front of one of the wheels, specifically by connecting it in this particular manner. Boom. So, Rainer, was it as nice for you too? Yes, let's watch the colleagues first here. They're disconnecting the battery now. Okay, I think he wants to talk to me again here.
A primary focus of a mission is the preservation and safeguarding of lives in circumstances such as this, and a significant aspect is to communicate with the individual being rescued. This is the most effective method to thoroughly explain what actions you are undertaking and how you intend to liberate the individual. This approach can assist in calming the person and offering reassurance. It is absolutely crucial that we make every effort to keep the risk of panic and fear responses at a minimal level. Even when time is of the utmost essence, the condition of the individual affected must always be carefully considered during the rescue operation, and the transport should be conducted in full compliance with emergency service protocols. The door is currently open. Kindly assist our unfortunate Trauma Sep in exiting the vehicle and escort him to the designated drop-off location.
Oh my goodness, well, this situation might be something significant. So Sep, please remain calm and relaxed. I'm on my way. Hello, how are you? I am from the fire department. We will rescue you. The ambulance has been informed and will be here soon. Until then, good luck.
He doesn't seem badly injured. Do we really need an ambulance here?
Certainly, certainly.
Please assist the comrades with the cleanup process. Following that, you are able to change and report to the training supervisor.
Certainly then. So the strategic deployment strategy. Certainly, the hose, sea hose, thingamajigs, and all the various items present here, all of these components, we must meticulously clean everything up once more. Indeed, quite the operation, right? You always take out so many items, then you carefully pack everything back in, and there you go. Yes, it's all part of the process. Consequently, this is the hydraulic spreader apparatus. Where does it go? I have just realized that it is still connected to the power source. Is it necessary for it to remain connected in that manner? Alright. It automatically unfolds on its own, which I find to be quite practical. That is the manner in which the drawer closes, and it seems to be quite excellent. Oh indeed, we still require this item, don't we? Here is our small trailer. So, I believe we have accomplished it, correct? Yes, I would suggest that we make a change once and then proceed to the principal once more. I think that will conclude our tasks for the day. Oh, that was a colleague who was bouncing around. She tends to take the service discipline somewhat lightly in this place. Alright, very well. Then we shall proceed back up to Thorsten. Let's uncover what further information he desires to impart to us. So here we find ourselves.
Thorsten, what follows in the sequence of events? You will certainly be able to apply the comprehensive knowledge you have acquired from this course in the upcoming assignments. Prepare yourself for that. We've wrapped up for today. Enjoy your evening. I truly hope to see you again soon at the next course.
I am quite certain, my friends, and I am being completely honest with you all, I will absolutely do several repetitions of the course. Certainly, particularly to enhance my comprehension of the controller's functioning, but also the subject matter itself, I wanted to express, as I'm not entirely proficient in it just yet. I mean, us as well, we have just successfully completed the second mission and the second training unit. Not much yet. Alright, let's enter the vehicle and make our way back to our home. We have genuinely earned our evening of relaxation today. Please switch on the television here. It's time for us to unwind and relax. Yes, the car still has indicators and such, right? I need to set everything up here again. So I still have a little bit of homework to do for the upcoming episodes. So yes, especially here, the configuration of the controller. Indeed, when operating and maneuvering, it feels excessively straightforward and overly acute and angular in this context. We need to make slight adjustments to that. Otherwise, indeed, I am confident that we can configure this quite comfortably for the controller. I believe this will also simplify certain aspects for myself. It's good to know that at least it works now. I would have preferred to use the PlayStation controller, to be honest. But it'll work this way too. So can we please close it? Certainly. Thus, home sweet home, my dearest companions. Therefore, let us close the door as well. It's quite a bad habit to leave doors open, even though he really allows me. Can't I close my own front door? What's happening here? I was just about to mention, I really need to have the ability to close my own front door. Don't rest here with the front door left open. So, dear friends, it is indeed time for us to return to our beds. For you, this means you can now take a break from the second day of deployment. I will do the same and then take some time for deep reflection. I believe I will most certainly review 1 or 2 lessons once more on the side. You can clearly tell it's a game that delves extremely deep, more than any other I've experienced in this direction up to now. But it's just fun and I want to stick with it. I hope you do too. If you enjoyed it, please feel free to show some love, ring the bell, give a thumbs up and subscribe. You can, of course, also share the whole thing and you can kindly recommend us to others. All of that makes me very happy. Otherwise, thank you for watching and of course, see you next time.
Goodbye.